I would make it this far. They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That mean you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back.
Back for season 3. We've been doing this for a while. We've been gone for a second. We had to get ourselves back together. We're going to start coming back at you every single week now. All these little hot button topics going on in culture. You're going to get some smart takes, some wild takes. That's what we're out here. That's what we're doing. So like, subscribe, comment, get at us.
Like, subscribe, everything. And we were gone because LJ has a problem when he goes to Vegas, that he needs to get it together. Because LJ, when he goes to Vegas, everything goes crazy. So we had to put LJ on hiatus for a little bit there.
Yeah, but if Vegas means having a baby, that's what.
Yeah.
But look, since this is the thing, you know, Smart and Wild was one of these concepts that we had started building, like while we were building Purple Banter, and me and you, Cam, like we really started like building this thing that started to work for a while, and then we just both got super busy, right? Like you started DJing a lot all over the country. You're flying out here literally in like 2 hours. We started to build out a bunch of shows for Purple Banter, but like since then we've always come back to like, look, there's all these crazy things that are going on in culture, and we want to get back to like our roots of like where we're at with all of this, you know, like there's so many hot button topics, whether they're super funny, whether they're cringy, whether they're also sometimes delicate, that there's so many nuances to shit. So it's like, we're going to talk about a few different things today. We're going to talk about the Jada Pinkett Smith stuff. We're going to talk about the NFL going into the Olympics. We're going to talk about Israel and Palestine within the context of the propaganda elements. Right. Smart and Wild is all about trying to see some things from like the angles of where mine and your friendship go in our conversation. It seems to be a little bit unique sometimes from everything that you're hearing in all these other media spheres. Right. There's so many times that me and you jump on the phone and we're like, I get what people are saying, but at the same time, this is my take. And this is what it's here. We're not here to necessarily agree to everybody, but we're here to say, this is how we're seeing it currently and how we're going to walk through it. And Cam, DJ, stand-up comedian, actor in LA, myself, just building this podcast network and trying to make things happen. So that's kind of the perspectives that you get us from. And that's what we're out here doing. So let's start with, what do you want to start with, Cam?
Well, you know, I want to talk about the most hot button topic for me personally, and let's talk about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, because this personally, I need to get this off my chest before we can even begin. Okay, as people know, as it's already been on topic on everywhere on Twitter, Jada Pinkett Smith like continues to defame her husband, Will Smith. Now, Will Smith, the famous actor, artist, for years and decades running. Jada Smith, you know, the failed actress that was what Wes was back in the old 90s. I'm sorry? You're muted. I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm muted. You're right. I'm muted. Jada Pinkett Smith is A-list before Will.
Buddy.
She's not a failed actress, dude.
But, you know, back in the last movie was back in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, you're still talking shit. You're kind of failed. I don't know. Because think about it. If there was a comedian that was like talking shit and hadn't done special since 1998, you're not allowed to talk shit, no matter if you were good or not.
Oh my God. Sorry. Bullshit.
If R. Kelly
wasn't Jada in The Matrix?
The old, like it was quickly. The newer one. That's right. She was the newer one.
I mean, I don't really know. I got to look at her IMDb to be completely honest. I got to see where she's at. I really have a hard time saying that she's not A-list.
Buddy. If it wasn't for Will Smith, she would be.
This is a rough pick, though. That's the first one you get.
Yeah, it's tough.
Dude. Girls Trip, Nutty Professor, Collateral, Madagascar, Menace to Society 2, Set It Off, Scream 2, Angels Have Fallen. Oh my God. The Matrix Reloaded, King Richard, The Matrix Revolution. This is Magic Mike XXL, Madagascar, obviously the whole season, Bad Moms, Ali, Okay, so there are some Will movies in here that give her a little claim to fame. I get it. Penguin,
King Richard.
Men in
I
Black
didn't know she was
3.
King
Okay,
Richard.
so Will putting it on for the fam, which he does because he's an American hero. I get
He's
it.
Will Smith. He's the man. He's the
But
man.
anyways, like any actress in the country would go, that's a movie list.
You know, it's a decent movie list. It's a decent, not
She's
too bad.
like,
You know,
she's B plus.
she even in those movies, I didn't even know she was in it. Like she's not even on the poster for it. You know, she might be like a side person on the side end. I don't really know. You know what I mean? So like, you know, like kind of like a
Okay,
C.
I get it. I get it.
You know
Okay.
what I mean? If I didn't even know she was in half that shit.
You know what? Actually, great point to you. You're not A-list unless you have multiple. You're on the poster.
You're on the post,
and you have to be on the poster for like a decade's version of movies.
Yeah.
Right.
Hence who? Oh, I don't know. Oh, Will Smith. Okay. Decades. Okay. All the movies. The number one guy. Sometimes he's the only guy on the poster. It's him and a dog on the I Am Legend. Him and a dog.
And to talk about it, like one of our most viral clips of all time was us discussing whether it was Will or Jamie Foxx as like one of the greatest, the GOATs, right? And so like Will is one of the GOATs. Like when you're talking about movies and you're talking about not top 10 actors, you're talking top 5s, top 3s.
Top 3. Yeah.
He's like in the top. It's a good discussion, top 3. It's a good discussion. You know, these are the Kobe's, the LeBrons, like all these things. So yes, I get it.
Yeah.
Tell me what Jade is. I mean, I'm not a huge Jada fan right now either, though.
I'm not a fan, but like, okay, even like, just a slight example, right? You know, Leonardo DiCaprio, the man, right? The chick that was in her movie, the Titanic, the remember that girl?
Has Leo ever been controlled by a chick like this?
No, because Leo's the man too, because he knows what's up. But even the girl that's from the Titanic that was with him that didn't save his ass, that could have got on the board with him. She's a pretty famous actress to this day. I still kind of like know who she is, kind of, sort of. She's doing.
She's A-list.
She's A-list. And she's on some shit, but she's nowhere. She's not out here talking shit about people, whatever. Anyway, let's go back. Anyway, Jada Pinkett Smith, failed actress. You know, constantly on Twitter, just disparaging her husband, Will Smith, the man, by the way. And I don't know what is it for another talk show. I don't know what is it for clout. I don't know, because she keeps on appearing on these new talk shows. Fucking Stephen Colbert wants to interview her. She's on Drink Champ. She's on this and that, all these YouTube shows and all this shit, just to continuously going. Well, as long as this time I've been with Will Smith, showing my face with Will Smith, because I was saying I had all these kids with Will Smith. He like we were never together, and he kind of sucked, and we had fucking cheated on him all this whole time. Will Smith never talked shit about you, but you're out here talking shit about my man. Why is that?
This, to be completely honest, and this is like where Smart and Wild is smart and wild, but mostly wild. This feels like almost losing Kobe.
This is terrible. But like,
this is a disaster, and I even say that as like a person who only appropriates Black culture, right?
And this hurts. Kobe by death by 1,000 cuts. Losing Kobe, because we're like, ooh, And like, at least,
and it doesn't, dude. Every time, every week, she has something new and fresh. And how does it always get crazier?
I don't know. And why? The real question is why? Are you trying to get a divorce with this guy? Are you trying to get a divorce and be like, oh, I left all these settlements, statements, so I can get like half of the? I don't know what she's doing. Is she trying to take kids? I don't know. What's happening? Did Will Smith slap the shit out of her? What happened?
So do you think, like, one, it's obvious she's just trying to sell her book, right? She's on a press run for her book.
Okay, that's like, what it is. I didn't even know that because I couldn't care. But she has a book coming out. Now I know.
But what I have the biggest problem with is, where did Will Smith do her so dirty that he's deserving of this type of like thing? But then again, he also was accepting of this relationship, apparently. Like, this is his wife.
So yeah.
This is more on Will, no?
I mean, no, and there is a level. I will admit, because like you're kind of accepting of this bullshit, right? That ain't right.
Because like think about like what was been going on with like Logan Paul and Nina Agdal.
Word.
Most people are blaming Nina, not Logan.
Okay.
Because they're like, he's somehow like skirting by, and like they're just saying like, well, you didn't do all this stuff. That's where also I look at it as like Jada has been doing the wild stuff. I would call this almost being more on Will for like being accepting of this. Like, I get it. Like, you're going to marry, maybe you could potentially like be in a relationship and maybe even somehow marry someone that you're like, this doesn't work, but they've had a bunch of kids. They've been in the public eye. For him not to just like, he's just done her such a service of like not calling this out at all.
Not at all. And like even recently, like Will Smith's most Instagram post, he was just like, all right, I just would like to say, he makes it true. They say like, then it zooms out to the world's like much bigger than my. He's basically trying to say like the world's much bigger than like my stupid problems. Which
this proves the good guy never wins.
No, absolutely not. And I'm telling you for firsthand, you should have seen me the other night. The real guy doesn't win. Okay, you gotta whatever. I'm gonna come back to that in a second. Okay, but no matter what Will Smith does, no matter what he says, like, oh my God, happy birthday, we love you, you're the best. He's even celebrating his mom, for God's sake. No matter what, just violation after violation after flagrant foul from Jada. And constantly. No matter what.
I mean, it's a constant onslaught of just never ending.
And he doesn't want to address it. Fine, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? But like, hey man, like we're all like the people that are fans of Will Smith, we're concerned. You know what I mean? Like Will Smith is my guy, like from through and through. Too many movies that I've watched him since I was a little kid. Fresh Prince, Bad Boys 2, 1 and 2. The fucking almost call it the Alien movie. All this shit, dude. Everything is I've seen growing up. Wild Wild West. We can keep going on.
Well,
so I like this music.
What I would call this is an insurgency.
Yeah.
Like what an insurgency, an active revolt or uprising. Right? Like the rebels are waging an armed insurgency to topple the monarchy. Like that was it in his, like he's dealing with an insurgency within his own home right now.
But like the monarchy is like, hey man, like we housed you, we fed you, we gave you whatever you needed. What the fuck did I do? They're like, we're mad. And I'm like, all right, what are you gonna do then?
And there's never been a point that she's like ever said, well, Will was such a like he suppressed me so much. He never let me do all this stuff. And so this is me like acting out. This is just her being like, Will always knew I was wild. Will always knew that I was in love with Tupac. Will let this happen. And now I'm just like throwing him under the bus for what? Like for some numbers, for some numbies on your book?
And she even said about the whole Oscar slap. She's like, I don't even know why Will Smith did that. Well, I don't fucking know. Did you hear what he fucking said?
Well, maybe because you're the mother of his children. Maybe because like it was a public onslaught of like demeaning a woman that he was in love with. Do I think it was right? No. Do I understand how that happens? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm still on Chris Rock's side with that. I'm on Chris Rock's side with that.
At this point, I mean, whatever, But I mean, to go to do all that for disrespect for someone who disrespect your wife, and then for Jada Smith to now go, I don't even know why that happened. That's crazy. And then to continue to disrespect him. That is so crazy to me. Like I don't know. That's crazy. Like
I love Chris Rock being like, dude, can you guys stop talking about me? Like I've forgiven you. I've said like I get it. My bad. Even though he's still holding his ground saying like jokes are jokes, but like he's asked too is just, could you stop? And that's just Chris, let alone Will. Like Will hasn't had to come out yet and be like, dog, like, can we quit?
Yeah. At this point, Will Smith should say himself, keep my motherfucking name at your motherfucking mouth.
And walk.
It's slap both. Something both. On God, bro.
Could you imagine on Instagram Live?
Just
the slap comes full circle and it's like, you know what?
Oh, dude. On Jada Pinkett's live too. She's like, yeah, let me talk about with
red table talk.
Right in front of her mom.
But then again, why do you not do that? Because violence against women is always wrong and never appropriate. And if Smart and Wild would never support that. But would that be kind of funny?
Yes.
Dude, honestly, I could see Tupac coming back from the grave and being like, Stop.
Who does he slap? Who does Tupac slap? Did he slap Chris Rock? Did he slap Chris Rock? Did he slap
Jada,
Will Smith?
dude,
Or did he
just
slap
being
the
like,
shit out of Jada Smith? Or did he slap Jada's
this is
mom?
the thing. If Tupac, I don't even believe that, like, this has gotten so inflated that I don't even think Tupac was that into her.
Dude, she might have been delusional this whole time. Imagine.
She seems that delusional that if like Tupac was alive, he'd be like, she was a side thing, dude.
What are you talking about? And like to be even that into something like 30 years later, like what are you talking about? Like you, if you're still into something from 20 years, 30 years later, talking about, oh, that guy was in love with me, no matter who it is, no matter if it was Jesus himself, you're like, what the fuck? Hey, you need to chill the fuck out, okay? It's been 30 years, okay? What are you talking?
It's brutal. I don't honestly believe any of it, and I could honestly also see it being this big just press thing that somehow, like, even Will being in on it, and just for some reason they're so corrupted internally as a family that like they're willing to do anything for $1.
But that's if that's the case, that's actually
that's
like
the deal
sad.
with the devil. That's the deal with the devil.
That's like sad and embarrassing to even if that's the case. And I don't want that to be the case because I love that the Will Smith and even his little sons so much. You know what I mean? I love the little Willow. They're all fun. You know what I mean?
But all their kids seem like so well intended, just misguided. That's all.
Sure.
And then when you hear like their mom talking and knowing that, like, even hearing the children know that, like, they're like, oh yeah, my mom always loved Tupac. Like that was her true love. Like, I just don't know, like, why we think this is even like nobody's said it's acceptable behavior. What are we talking about? Everyone's talking shit on Jada. So I do understand that, like, this is not like that big of an outtake, but it's incredible to see such a star just getting eaten alive, dude.
Yeah. And it's because, like, I can't even figure out. And the real question is, like, kind of why, other than like selling a book, and it's just for numbers, and it's like kind of why. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe media propaganda just to like get us off of other storylines.
That could be the case, and that is slightly deterring us a little bit. You know what I mean? There is a lot. Okay, so let's come back. You know, we can always come back to propaganda, but propaganda is real interesting because, like, every single time there is like some crazy shit going on, there always is like, oh, like some like I'm surprised like some celebrity hasn't got like fully arrested yet for like some type of bullshit, because usually someone's getting arrested for some bullshit, or like or you know, something. I don't know. They already got R. Kelce, so they can't use that card anymore.
But you do see like the media press in when it comes to like different political things. The media presses in on like weird celebrity gossip and goes like ham on it during that time period. We saw that with like Johnny Depp. I think that was going on like during like the Afghanistan stuff, right? Where it's like, everyone, you gotta watch this trial. Don't look over here. And I do get a little tinfoil hat with that, where I go, what are we really getting driven down our throat? Does the country really care about what is going on in this family's relationship? We're getting it so thrown in front of it. Do I care about Will's relationship? No. Do I care about him as an actor? Yeah, he's one of my favorites of all time. Right. And do I care about his well-being? 100%. Like, I care about his well-being as a person.
Big time. You know, he's going on therapy on Instagram sessions. Like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? So I wish for the best for my guy. You know what I mean? I want to see him to be the best. You know,
but like the whole world starts talking about like mental health and stuff, and then like, why do people keep on giving her interviews though? That's what's getting weird too.
I don't know, dude, because that's what's actually driving me a little crazy. Because like we all know, we're all like angry about it, and then next thing I see on Twitter is like Jada Pinkett Smith is going to be on Stephen Colbert.
And like, Jada, we would love to have you on.
100%.
We'd love to have you on.
I want to talk to you. I definitely want to talk to you. But like, she's on every show I can think of on YouTube, and I can't get myself to watch it because I don't want to hear what she fucking has to say. Right. I can't. Like, I should have listened to it for this interview, but I couldn't get myself to listen to it, for God's sake. I couldn't.
Yeah. Let's go into another propaganda relationship. What do you think about T Swift and Kelce?
You know, that's very that I would say, matter of fact, that might be one of them right there, the propaganda one.
That seems like a real propaganda relationship.
That sounds like Kelce real plan. Yeah.
Started his partnership with we'll just call it Big P because we do want this on YouTube.
Oh, right. Yes.
With Big P, and which is a company that demonstrates and gives medications and stuff to different people in the world, all over the world.
Wonderful.
It's the biggest one of all time.
Wonderful medications, mind you. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's doing the Ouchie sponsored ads, the double take things at the same exact time that Taylor is the biggest person in the world. And then have you heard about the Jets conspiracy with Taylor's end of it?
The Jets? No. What's the one?
Yeah, so apparently Taylor was starting to get a lot of crap because she uses so many private jets. She's one of the biggest like carbon emissions issues in the country as a singular individual.
Yeah.
This is crazy tinfoil hat stuff. But what the tinfoil is saying on this topic is they're saying that they wanted to get her aligned with Kelce, announce the relationship at the Jets game. So whenever you Google Taylor Swift Jets or Jets,
oh my God,
you only see picture of her in the Jets suite, the New York Jets, instead of seeing all of the crap being talked about her with her private flights.
Erasing her Google searches. Wow. Just like overlaying that information. Wow.
Big tinfoil hat stuff, but I get it. I'm here for it.
Jesus. Well, I mean, that's so interesting. I mean, I can see that totally happening. Because, like, first of all, this relationship seems so fucking fake. I've never seen anything faker. But it's kind of interesting to see, to be honest with you, right? Because the whole thing started, I guess, Travis Kelce sent, like, Taylor Swift a DM talking about, like, come to the stadium because I guess you just sold out Arrowhead Stadium. So, like, oh, you know, you can see me play or whatever, some shit like that, right? First of all, we all wish that worked for us. We'd be like, hey, you know, hang out with the fucking, I don't know, down on Main Street. I'll see you walk down Main Street.
But to think that a Taylor Swift would ever be able to be on her phone and ever be able to isolate one DM doesn't seem possible to me.
No. It's not possible. The only way it happened is because that blew up.
I could see her team saying, hey, Travis Kelce hit your DM, but
right. Because the thing about him hitting her up blew up. So then she probably saw it. They're like, oh my God, Travis Kelce just DM'd Taylor Swift. And then she probably saw it because it was literally news.
But she's such a superstar, and he's, I would imagine, enough understanding of that world, and he doesn't seem like, he seems like the most like polished version of a fuckboy possible. Sure. That like, I can't see him even DMing Taylor Swift. Like, wouldn't you like go to your manager or something and be like, hey, like, how would I get a hold of Taylor? I don't know. I just can't imagine him DMing her.
Or you just tell the news that you DM Taylor and the news blows up and then she gets a hold of it because she didn't see your shit.
They never talked on the DMs. There's no way.
No. Right. Or it's spicy. Who knows? So you know, but that happened, right? They finally get together. Now she comes to all the NFL games. Now let's be serious. Taylor Swift is actually the #1 star of like probably the planet right now. Like.
Well, she's like she's a generational talent. One of the reasons I think Taylor Swift is actually why she's so big is I think she's one of the only artists popping right now that parents feel comfortable letting little kids go to their shows because I don't think she's like has like overly sexualized music. So and the biggest consumers of music generally are like the middle school to high school teen boppers, right? Yep. And that has always driven the success of like the Christina Aguilera's, the Britney Spears, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. The biggest bands in the world has generally been fueled by this demographic. And there's not a lot of artists that appeal to that demographic right now that I feel like parents probably say, oh, you can go to that concert.
Yeah, and it's no harm, no foul. Like, you know, she's clean. She doesn't talk about anything like crazy over sexual. Like
just sad girl relationships, teen bop stuff. There's just not a lot of that out there. To me, she seems like she's kind of competing with nobody in this like very, very big genre, like the biggest genre in the world.
Maybe like Korean pop, but I feel like that's already kind of dying. Like the BTS's of the world.
I mean, I love K-pop, dude. But then again, like K-pop's very highly sexualized though too. Like
there's
like
a level
Blackpink would be one of the biggest K-pop groups that have ever like landed in the US and actually made like real impact other than BTS. BTS, I have no idea what BTS's concerts are like, but I do know that when BTS was at SoFi, I could tell, I noticed in Venice. So they are like obviously probably, I would imagine, on the same exact level. If not, could they be bigger than Taylor? I don't even know, but I would imagine
I don't know.
They're in the same stratosphere.
I would say the only reason why they might be bigger worldwide is because, you know, the age demographic that, you know, fucks with it is just larger.
But same.
And then you add US. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. But anyway, Taylor Swift is like one of the biggest artists definitely in the US. It's definitely like one of the biggest artists in the world right now. Huge, all props to her.
The biggest.
Coming out with her Eras tour. I didn't even know she was coming out with it, but I'm like, no shit, right? Because that's another thing. So she's coming out, all this new shit's coming out. She just came out with her DVD, which is her Eras tour DVD. So she's appearing in all this stuff essentially for pre-marketing.
And
it's all about marketing.
When have you ever, like, I feel like most of these tour type of, because is it like a BTS tour documentary, like behind the scenes, or is it actually the concert?
I don't know.
The craziest marketing ever, because I'll like see like a Justin Bieber concert tour doc show up and I'll go like, oh, that sounds cool. I probably want to watch that sometime. And sometimes I get around to it. Sometimes I don't. But the amount of hype they've put around her during like a break during her tour. Now everybody's just going to the movie theaters and watching her like her tour doc is crazy.
I imagine
his team is elite.
And I imagine it's probably a mix of both. Like you do the concert, you probably go backstage. Oh, that was crazy. Now we're going to France. Oh, go again. It's a love story, baby. I just say yes. I imagine something.
I would imagine that honestly, Biden's like press people try to poach Taylor Swift's team all the time, saying like, "If you ever wanted to work in politics, because we could use you right now."
Oh, 100%. And 100%. Not only that, they're probably putting ads in. She's like, make sure you get vaccinated. You know what I mean? And like, all this shit. You know what I mean? Like, make sure you vote for a Democratic, whatever. You know what I mean? That probably all the little hints in there. Little hints. Probably just.
I always thought that Taylor was a little bit more like right of center, more than left of center. I don't know why I've ever thought that. Whenever people are less politically inclined to talk, I usually think that they're probably a little bit more right than left for one reason. It only adds value to your brand if you're on the left. If you say like, I'm a straight up lefty, that usually works in your favor as a huge star. But like Taylor, maybe she just doesn't want to isolate like a huge demographic of people, right?
Right. Because if she does that, then she cuts out like half of the country, which is there's no point of doing that.
Because nobody literally cancels like the right.
No.
When they're done with you, like the Bud Light stuff, it's a wrap, dude.
Well, not only that, like imagine like a fuck Taylor Swift on Twitter trending, like because she decided to like drink a Bud Light or something.
The Kelce stuff with him doing the Big P sponsorships, that might even hurt Taylor on the right.
Interesting,
because the right is, especially with that topic, the right is very, very concerned with any level of promotion of stuff that they're just like, dude, I don't know, we just don't want to go back.
Yeah, we don't want to go back to that. So let's talk about that. So like Travis Kelce is pro Big P, right? Gets with Taylor Swift. They keep showing Taylor Swift on the NFL games. We're actually sick of it now because it's like 10 games in. We're like, okay, stop it, please. Okay, but like we get it. At a certain point, we do understand though. Because it is Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? But
it could be an authentic relationship because, like, I would imagine they both appeal to each other.
Yeah, in some way. Big football player, a little, cute girly singer, country singer. Why not? You know what I mean? Sure. But, like, what I'm trying to figure out, like it is going on all while, all this crazy shit. That, like, God only knows how much money in debt we are in the U.S. God only knows how much money the U.S. keeps giving to people. God only knows the war that we could get into. But, Travis Kelce,
I think we're up to $37 trillion of debt. Dude.
Trillion.
And Elon came out and talked about how when you actually factor in the futures of debt, he's like, you could probably double it.
Yeah.
And I know that we're almost up to annually, so every single year, needing to pay $1 trillion worth of interest payments on our debt. That's
just
how
interest.
much debt that we're currently in.
Just interest. Yeah. So
just interest payments are almost $1 trillion.
Right. So Eras tour. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure you get your tickets. Like, like I don't, you know what I mean? Like so it is interesting. Like, you could talk about like what is the celebrity propaganda that happens when all this shit's going down. I feel like it's actually that we kind of just pinpointed it. That's kind of it. But God bless them. You know what I mean? Like, they look, kind of cute or whatever. I like it. It looks really fun. You know what I mean? What people talk shit, but like at the same time, who would not want to date Taylor Swift?
33 trillion. My bad. I was off.
My bad. Yeah. But like, you talk shit, but like who would not want to date Taylor Swift just for fun? Just for fun. Even if you don't really like her that much. That sounds like a fun like couple weeks. You know what I mean?
She seems a little bit difficult in the sense that like all of her songs are about like how she just kind of runs through dudes as far as like emotionally a little bit. And you're getting put on a song.
Yeah.
But any guy, I guess guys are like, it would be funny to get put on a song.
It would.
But I would imagine you would probably be in love for the rest of your life, and it'd be kind of odd that like she's just back with somebody else.
Keep talking shit, and like the next song is like about the next guy, and you're like, oh, I thought that was my shorts in the song. Like, no,
I don't know anything about her dating history. If she's ever been with like celebrity dudes, though, I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure she has. I'm pretty sure. I can't recall.
I wouldn't even call it. I wouldn't call. Like, I always have a hard time actually calling NFL guys celebrities because it's a different genre to me a little bit. Like, I don't think like Travis Kelce is necessarily like a celebrity. He's just one of the best football players, kind of now.
Yeah, kind of. But then like, kind of is at the same time. He pops up at the city, he's gonna get. Oh my God, guys,
well, yeah. If you go to a bar, like all the guys are gonna be like, "Yo, that's dope." But
100%.
Celebrity seems different to me.
No, you're right. I see what you're saying. And there's different levels. You know what I mean? Like even like
Tom Brady is like where he broke from NFL to celebrity.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers has broke from NFL to celebrity. I just
celebrity.
But I don't even think like a Brett Favre ever broke from like NFL to totally like celebrity, only because he never wanted to.
He seemed like a local celebrity, like a Green Bay celebrity, but he's not like a big time celebrity. He can like sneak down Venice Beach and we have only 3 people would think about, oh, what's up, dude? Like Brett Favre. You know what I mean? So there, yeah, you're right. So speaking of celebrities, did you see what's going on with the whole Logan Paul, KSI, Tommy Fury fight, the whole shit?
I watch it, obviously. I watch all that stuff. I love the celebrity boxing stuff. I truly do. Yeah. I only appreciate what Jake's doing now, though. Like this last fight with Dylan Dennis and Logan, it was brutal. That one was like, it was just unbelievable that Dylan Dennis is this big of a troll. Like, you got to have a little bit of respect for him to be so disrespectful of his own integrity and own value, because he has no regard for public opinion. Like,
no,
it was just, how could you go into an environment like that and not even try?
No, that was terrible. And not only that, he's like still talking shit on Twitter for some reason, which is
he's
crazy.
Done though. It's over.
You're toast. Well, he was one of those things like he's been talking shit for so long, and the only reason why he's known is to talk shit. He would just be like a really good jiu-jitsu artist if he wasn't a shit talker that he is. But
was he good in the MMA?
Yeah. He was good at stuff? He was good at jiu-jitsu. He never joined him. He was like world-class jiu-jitsu guy.
So but jiu-jitsu people fight in the UFC.
Some of them eventually do, yes.
Who's like the best? Is like Style Bender the best like jiu-jitsu guy in the MMA? Like who's been the best UFC fighter? So it's still hard to break.
Yeah, no, because you have to break that mold and get better. There's still like kickboxers that are still at a level. There's boxers that are still at that level.
Style Bender's a kickboxer then.
Style Bender's a kickboxer. Yeah. So jiu-jitsu guys, a guy named Mickey something, I forget his last name. A lot of the Brazilian guys that came before. The Silvers of the world, all these other guys.
Anderson Silva
was initially a kickboxer, and then he was also good at jiu-jitsu, and then came in and then started fucking shit up pretty hard.
Who was the guy that got knocked out with the flying knee kick?
You talking about Jorge Masvidal knocked out Ben Askren?
Yeah, it was Ben Askren jiu-jitsu because he was floor, right?
He was a wrestler.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he was a wrestler. So
but am I wrong to say that jiu-jitsu is all on the floor?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
It's takedown, and then like basically like jiu-jitsu, wrestling are somewhat similar to from the big time outskirts point of view. They're not similar, but like if you look at it from a super wide angle, like basically wrestling is the whole point is to take it, get somebody, take them down, pin them, score points, right? Jiu-jitsu is similar to that. You take down, but then there's no points for putting someone on the back. You have to submit them.
Yeah, so you're using leverage within pressure points to make sure the person's tapping.
All submissions, chokes, holds, things like that. Right?
So usually a jiu-jitsu person would fuck a wrestler up.
Yeah. I mean, because there's much more to do. Like for instance, like if a wrestler gets put on their back, if I'm a wrestler and I put you on your back, I'm actually like done. That's it. What am I going to do now? A jiu-jitsu artist goes, "We're not done. We're not done until I choke you or pull your arm or whatever." So there's like much more complexity into it.
That's where I have seen that in jiu-jitsu where like they will be on their back, but then they choke out their opponent on their back.
Right.
So you're like, oh, this guy's winning. And then you're like, wait, that guy just went down because his legs are like literally just broke someone's neck who's like submitting them.
Yeah. It's a big there's just way more to jiu-jitsu than wrestling. But obviously you can be a really good wrestler, you can be a really good jiu-jitsu artist. They're not exactly the same. But that's the difference.
So we all know Logan Paul, the Danis thing. Anybody that even gives a shit, that was bullshit. But why is KSI and Tommy Fury getting so much shit? Because that actually seemed like a reasonable, approachable fight, even though it did feel to me that KSI won it.
Right.
Why is everybody so pissed at that particular fight?
Because the whole thing about that is Tommy Fury is an actual boxer. So don't even he's not like the best in the world. I don't think he's won any belts like that. But he's he's on the Fury family. He's on the Tommy Fury, Tyson, big Tyson Fury, the
iconic boxing family, right?
Gypsy King, all this stuff, the big dad, big old motherfucker. So Tommy Fury is a real boxer, and to fight a YouTuber, like a full blown YouTuber, like a Prime Energy, like drink Prime, like those fools, like and to almost beat him is pretty crazy. Now to essentially lose by controversy, because if you ever saying KSI won, that's where it's all fucked. Because now KSI is saying let's overturn it. If Tommy Fury lost, then his dad was saying like his dad told Tommy Fury that he's excommunicated from the family, which he kind of should have been.
So do you think that boxing was doing Tommy Fury a favor by letting him win?
By letting the boxer win.
Based on like the respect of his family and also probably trying to prolong it. Because it doesn't matter that KSI won. Nobody cares. If KSI won, it would be fun and great. And then KSI would go fight another new guy, but he wouldn't ever fight like maybe Conor McGregor is the next person to potentially fight Logan, KSI or
some bullshit like that. But
it seems to me Jake Paul's the only like legit fighter in this whole realm anymore.
Yeah, because he's actually like pretty solid boxer. That's the thing. So Logan Paul is actually not that. None of those guys are actually solid boxers, but Jake Paul is actually pretty solid.
But Paul lost to Tommy Fury.
Yeah, he lost to Tommy Fury much more convincingly than KSI did.
Got it. So actually, KSI and Jake Paul would be a really good fight to see who's actually the best YouTube boxer.
But I think there's something there because the whole Prime thing. So Logan Paul and KSI are the Prime boys, and then Jake Paul is his brother, little brother. They could probably
I get that, but Logan fought KSI, right? That's how the whole Prime thing even started.
I think before that, before they did the Prime thing. I think that,
So I think Logan like needs to let his brother we have to define who do we let go next as far as
because I to be frank with you, I don't want to see Logan Paul fight. I do not want to see another Dylan Danis fight. I don't really care for Tommy Fury. I'm down for KSI and Lil Jake. That's the only YouTube boxers I want to see again.
Logan's gone on an interesting run because I definitely really started to like him during his Impulsive run. I think they started to build like a really good show there. Mm-hmm. And then something around like when George Janko left Impulsive, a dynamic within that room really changed. I think like Mike Malak and Logan, I think their relationship is just kind of cool, like bros. But Logan, it feels like he has a little bit of a power thing going on with all of his boys. And it's kind of odd to experience because I think like, I don't think George Janko actually should have necessarily been on Impulsive anymore. Not for bad reasons. I just don't think he just wasn't a part of that show because he wants to be more religious. I like George Janko's show in himself. I like when he has ownership of his own thing. It's a really interesting, intriguing conversation that he dives into. And whenever they were cutting him off of Impulsive and talking about it, I think it did a disservice to what it could have been. If they were smart, I think they should actually have all of those dynamics, but you could tell that it just was never going to work.
Yeah. I'm not too caught up in that. They're cutting him because he was like in his religious days. What?
Yeah, like he there was elements where he was starting to do stand up, and when they were having stand up comedians on, you could tell that George was a little bit. You could kind of see that he had like maybe an element of like imposter syndrome, or he felt like he needed to like level up to the stand-ups that were on, even though they were like mega stand-ups. And when stand-ups would jab him back and give him a little bit of shit, he did kind of shut down a bit. When if you're a stand-up comedian, you should be able to take some jabs and like be willing to roll with it.
Yeah.
He felt like the boys never had his back, so he walked out on a podcast with Bobby Lee.
Wow.
Even though I did think Bobby Lee was being like unbelievably disrespectful to George Janko, I still think like George should be able to deal with it.
Yeah. When it comes to comedian, you got to be able to bounce back and fire them a little bit. That's the whole thing about comedy. That's why they're dishing it out in the first place.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun because they want you to come back. Even if you say something wild, they want you to come back and make me laughing.
But in the longest roundabout way to describe that, for some reason, I went from everyone hated Logan, and I never really hated him. I was just like, oh, I don't understand who he is. Then I like started to appreciate him with his pod. Now he's in a weird spot where like he's really lost public opinion again.
Yeah, because there's something interesting there because like when that whole fight was building up, they were like, even though it was the girl, the fiance that was suing Dale and Dennis, they were like, so why? Yeah, so I'm like, hey man, like you're rich as hell. Why are you suing this guy? That first of all, that's just building up a fight for you, you know. But I would say that like Dylan also like I would be okay with that argument. Like Dylan Dennis wasn't such a dumb asshole at the end of the fight. You know what I mean? Because like even like, there's a lot of like I've seen so many fights, right? Like on Floyd Mayweather's fight, Conor McGregor's fights, all this shit where they do actually go a little bit too far, and they're just like fuck you, fuck your mother, blah, 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 blah. But at the end, they go, hey man, like we're just fighting that. It's all good. Like let's be serious. This is all entertainment, no joke. I'm okay with that. Even if you kind of go a little far, you know you can edit a little bit, but like there's a level of like respect that it ends right there. But the dumb fuck was trying to like guillotine like Logan Paul at the end and try to fight his managers. I'm like, dude, you lost hard. Like it's one thing if it isn't even competitive, but like you lost so bad, like you need to like lay down and shut the fuck up. Be able to dance.
Right.
So I was almost on the side of Logan, like this guy kind of sucks too. But like and now I'm kind of like, leave him.
I do think Logan deserves another real fight because he didn't get anything. He couldn't even like. You can't knock someone out if they're not even like working with you a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to knock someone out through their arms when all they're doing is backing up and never giving you a chance to catch him? And he caught him a few times though.
Yeah.
Even with that.
Yeah. But it was like the difference of like, 7 punches versus 93 landed punches. Like, what the hell? That's crazy. Like Dylan Dennis. Logan maybe gets a fight again, maybe in a while. Whatever. But Dylan Dennis never gets to see the ring again, in my opinion.
Nobody should pay for a pay-per-view that he's a part
of. Not even close. Everyone should shut him down. Like they should shut him down like they should do Jada Pinkett Smith. But of course they won't. They're gonna have him on Stephen Colbert tomorrow. They're gonna fucking have him on everything. Because I don't even get how this works anymore. At this point, I should stop being nice. I started shitting people's couches and stuff. I should start going to YouTubers like Boozy and start like fucking shitting on his couch. I'm recording it. Because at this point, like this is what the world wants. This is how to get $1 million. Fuck.
It could work for you.
I think so. You know what I mean? So talking about shitting on people's couches, let's talk about Israel and Palestine. Because that's crazy. That's a crazy transition. But everyone knows what's going on. I think it's really complicated, but really, it would be dumb for me to go, I know what's going on. I think it would be crazy.
Yeah, and you're not coming to like Smart and Wild for like the news coverage, or we're not going to tell you anything different.
No.
It's, to me, the most interesting topic is the propaganda war that we're actually in with this. Because like, how can we trust anything right now? So as a person that like doesn't have real like authentic space in any of it other than being like an American citizen, which does then put you definitely proxy to it. It's really hard to be able to understand what is legit, right? And then I think it's really time to be very cautious to like have a distinctive opinion immediately when things happen, because one, press cannot go to Gaza. So that no press are allowed in Gaza. So we're either left up to like believing Gaza, like Hamas telling us. I would trust any Palestinian person on the ground telling us like, yo, this is the authentic truth, as long as that person is not like a perpetual liar. I would trust people on the ground in Israel if like I felt like they were like a genuine person that's just giving you it straight without propaganda. But like when it comes to the entities of like Israeli government and Hamas, and then even sometimes American intel, you go, everyone's just trying to make themselves look good in this all the time and make the other side look like the devil. Where can I even begin half the time with all of this information? Like what's going on with the hospital? Like I totally understand why people on either side would totally feel like the other side did it, because there's no way to have an accurate understanding of what even fucking happened. So you're just going to jump to your line of the sand and say, I'm just going to stand on this line and say, if I don't know what happened, then it's the other person.
And so, I mean, how difficult is it to conceive, God forbid, that it was actually, it might have been.
Well, what's scary though,
and how that's so complicated.
What's scary is this was a conversation around a hospital being bombed with what was initially told 500 casualties. Then fast forward 48 hours, the hospital itself was not directly bombed. It was a parking lot near right outside of it. And it was a parking lot inhabited by a lot of people that believed it was a safe place to be. And it was also a hospital that has been not directly hit previously, but had been indirectly hit already. So it's not like Israel wasn't scared to bomb around the hospital, and they have bombed hospitals before. This has happened.
And they warned the hospital, and then they got indirectly hit bombed. So it's not like they haven't like they get warning, click, warning, click, and then that happened about a week later. So it's like, so it's not like it's out of the possibility. But go ahead.
And so then everyone's going, well, it couldn't have been an Israeli warhead because that would have done more damage, and it couldn't have been a Palestinian warhead. This is what that's what Palestine's saying, or Hamas is saying, because like again, you have to like give a little bit of grace of what is Hamas, what is Palestine. These are totally two different things. Hamas is the entity that's controlled of Gaza, and just only specifically Gaza. Hamas is saying it wasn't us. Israel's saying it was you, but then they're saying that we had never seen Hamas's missile make this type of damage before. So they don't even believe, that Hamas has a missile capable of this type of damage, and they're saying every single Israeli missile would have done more damage.
And
so both sides are saying it can't be us.
And then they also go, there's a level of like, but you also, whatever thing hit it was in the middle of a car park, which the cars are full of gas and then explode. And then
so that would be if it was a Hamas's rocket, somehow it would have been this like daisy chain domino effect. If it was an Israeli rocket, it would have been an Israeli rocket that malfunctioned and somehow went to a place that it wasn't supposed to go. But where Israel really conflicted a lot of this, even in their knowledge and data reports and all these things, there was like crazy conflicting coverage. They basically manufactured a conversation between two people from Gaza that everyone's saying that wasn't even real.
It wasn't in our dialect. They're like, it's not even our dialect. What are you talking about?
Even if the dialogue was real, there's nothing to back up where they were like saying that if that dialogue was real, that's not where the rocket was coming from anyway. So what are we talking about? Right. It's bizarre stuff, man.
Dude, it's great. Like what's going on Twitter and like what you hear, like you said, like what you hear from different news sources, all the stuff like that. It is actually, it's insane. Like they call it the fog of war. Oh my god, dude, it's the lies of war, fool. Like both sides, like they're and they're going like they're going, well, look at this atrocity that this other side commit, shame on them. And both sides are going, look at this atrocity this side commit, shame on them. Everyone should get behind us and shame them, you know. And both sides are fucking lying. There's been tweets that are putting out from Israel accounts, but by the way, which is weird, and ads putting on Israel accounts which is weird. Then they've been taken back, refuted. Community noted, everything. They have to take the shit back and like, oh, it wasn't a real picture. Oh, it was AI. Oh, it was this. Oh, it was that. The people have not saw these reports are going, look at what happened. Look what this, look at that. I'm like, hey, sometimes this might have been y'all, or this particular picture was something of last year or some other bullshit. And like I don't know, it's so crazy because everyone's trying to like there's no, I don't really understand why, but everyone's trying to like rally up on one person's side of this whole thing. But like, if everyone's looking at it objectively, they're going, man, like this is way more complicated than first of all, no one understands what's going on historically. And second, even what's happening right now, there's no way to understand what's happening.
And what's tough for me is when someone does have a very strict definitive opinion of who's in the wrong, which they go, well, this isn't a difficult topic to understand. Who's in the wrong? I go, man, it's the reason I have to counter that a little bit is like, then why have all these competing nations struggling with what to do about this? Like it's confusing. It's difficult. It seems, there's so many different periods of like, where does the history start on all of this and all of these different topics? They can go back it can predate the Bible, or it can start 70 years ago, or it can just have started last week in different people's eyes. Most people would not say it just started last week, though. People are conflating it and, making numbers construed to say, well, this is the equivalent of this many 9/11s. So now we're like rounding up and calculating and timesing death totals to like.
That part is the craziest bit of speech I've been hearing lately. But go ahead. I would go back.
I just think I understand why people are trying to help equivalate the disaster, but like we don't need to start like rounding up and like multiplying. Like, can we not just say that the amount of casualties is disgusting? We don't have to we don't have to put multiples of anything on it to understand, whoa, this is crazy.
Dude, not only that line of like, it's like our 9/11 or it's like 3 9/11. That is so bonkers to me because first of all, it's let's be serious. It's Israeli people, it's the Israeli president saying that. Like he keeps repeating that over and over again. First of all, I think there's something to that where all he's trying to actually do is just trying to get the West or the US on their side. First of all, I think that's really what that is. Number two, you're trying to equate like someone else's tragedy to yours when this has nothing to do with our shit. This is everything to do with your shit and your shit only. And so I can't. It bothers me when I hear that. So like, oh, this is like our civil war, our 9/11, or whatever the fuck you're talking about. No, when this is your shit, then not only like kind of both of y'all created yourselves. No matter how who started first, whatever the fuck, it's y'all shit. So shut the fuck up about talking about it. It's just like your tragedy over there. It's just like ours. Now it's just like ours. Look at us. We're look at our oppression. Oh, look how sad we are. No, shut the fuck up. This is like.
I mean, I wouldn't. The one thing I would counter with that is, I don't think there's any place in time that the initiation of this conflict began with Palestine specifically. Like I do, like especially when it comes to Gaza, it is so incredible between I think the level of suppression that Israel puts on the place and the level of suppression that Hamas puts on it, that like you cannot, and like Israel, where Israel does it crazy is that like you can't travel from like Gaza to the West Bank, and there's like you can't be you can, but like it's really, really difficult. And then you can't be out and about in Israel after 11 p.m. as like a Gaza resident.
Right. And let's talk about the blockade, and now they're shutting off the internet, the power, the water, the everything. You think they're just going to be okay with that? You think
right.
Be like, oh, it's fine. No, they're not.
But that doesn't mean that I also like can say, oh, well, yeah, that means you can like kill innocent civilians either. And then also with that, it's like, well, Israel's been killing innocent civilians and suppressing people. And like both can be true at the exact same time to me. Right. And that's where it makes it so convoluted, because the U.S. is directly involved in this. This is a proxy war between the U.S., Iran, and a bunch of other nations. And then the U.S. was involved in the placement of it. But British Parliament was a little bit more involved in like really structurally making this happen initially. It's just confusing, but I don't like how it's brutal that our country's getting so like politically divided right and left, even on something that like it's really hard to have like accurate knowledge of like day by day. That's all.
Right. Yeah, and it's tough because even the U.S. is trying to play I wouldn't say both sides, but they're trying to give aid to the Israelis and then take people that are Palestinians out, which the level of that's kind of right, sure, but like but like Israel itself is blocking the extradition of any Palestinians in Hamas, so they're trying to like take hey man, like kind of like, we gave you this land or whatever, let's just call it, right, in general grand scheme of things, we gave you this area, it's yours. If you need help, you call us. You are calling us. And we're going, all right, let's get these Palestinians out of this area. And then Israel's like, no, fuck them. We're going to shoot them down. If they come out of the fucking south of Egypt, south of Gaza trying to go to Egypt, we'll fucking fuck them up. We'll blockade them.
Also, like, Egypt's like playing this weird role of like, yo.
Yeah, they're like not doing it.
Like, another difficult element to me is the fact that like, so it's surrounded by Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Israel, and Lebanon, right? Yeah. And all these other countries are not also offering refuge to Palestinian individuals either. So that's where it gets really, really difficult. Where like the Palestinians, like an innocent Palestinian family is so fucked. And then like in the macro level, I also can understand how Israel in itself is also potentially in the lieu of being ultimately very, very fucked as well at any time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in the macro, I could see how like, I can totally understand why a Jewish individual could say the Holocaust wasn't that long ago and this is starting to get there.
Right.
Because just not like round them up, but like the mentality, the conversations, the lack of empathy, like those types of things. But like there's lack of empathy on both sides here, dude. But I do think in the truest retrospect, the Palestinian individuals are being the most fucked out of all of it, because they're getting doormatted by major superpowers. Hamas in itself is totally fucking this group of people. You have like people that are actively like saying like, LGBTQIA for Hamas, or not for Hamas, but for Palestine. You realize you cannot live in Palestine if you are gay.
No, you'll get capped.
And females like are not going to have great rights there probably either. Like
not a chance.
The only place in that entire region that a lot of like homosexuality would even be tolerated would be in Tel Aviv in Israel. So that's where it gets so fucking difficult.
Yeah. But we've actually had a conversation about that. We're like sometimes the oppressed need to be with the oppressed, the real oppressed. They need to sign up with the real. They're like, even though they're not really that oppressed. Like America, like let's just say like LGBTQ in America is not oppressed, but they need to sign up. Like whatever. I'm not saying it's not okay to be with the Palestinians. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like typically that's kind of how it goes.
Well, it's just tough because we're dealing with, if you can look at this with a real lens, you're dealing with two groups of people that have very good reason to say the world's fucking us. And we have to protect ourselves because nobody will protect us.
Yes.
Now, I do have a little bit less understanding of that when it comes to the now of Israel, because the Israelites are backed by the U.S. media, and the US government and the funds of us. So like, but then again, that's for good reason, because I think there are groups like Hamas that do want to end you forever.
Yeah.
So
and you are like you said, like I do can kind of understand a little bit with the Israeli side, because you are literally surrounded by Arab countries, fully surrounded. Right. So like and kind of if the U.S. I'm not saying we should be involved, but let's just say we were not involved, probably kind of would have got fucked already by now.
Well, if that's the thing, like everyone's saying, like, should the U.S. be involved? Should it not be involved? Look, dude, we're involved now. So and we've been involved since the beginning of this. And so because of that, I do think Israel has to be held to a higher standard by American individuals for one particular reason. Our money's invested in that spot.
Yes.
So like you can't just like, we can't let a war be fueled by rage and let American dollars be part of rage money. And like the initial attacks right after Hamas did terrorist acts on Israel, you still can say, oh my God, you were fucked by a terrorist attack. But at the same time, you can't go, well, you can start bombing hospitals, man. Like you can do both at the same time, right? Like be like, yes, do we need to figure out how to deal with Hamas? 100%. For even, I think, the sanctity and freedom of Palestinian individuals. Yeah. So, dude.
Yeah, and there's reports coming out of like what white phosphorus and war crimes going on from Israel coming into it. It gets crazy. And just like I said, just because we're involved with the Israeli side, let's just say, doesn't mean you get to go over there just like gung ho and start fucking doing anything you want. No, there's like rules to be.
We have to be more tactful, like, and then we have learned nothing from 9/11, because also I can go tinfoil hat and understand why. Okay, we put like at least $3 billion into Israel every year, right? Probably more. It sounds like we put like $150 billion or something in it since the 48, and in a magnitude of ways. With that, how is it that like a random insurgency that was planned on a day that we should actually even be a little bit more hyper vigilant? How do you let guys fly in with parachutes and do things like this if you have some of the most, probably the best military personnel and some of the most efficient, the best technology on the planet? How is it that like, oh, well, yeah, you can fly in on a kite, but like if it was a sophisticated missile, then like, yeah, we would obviously knock that down.
You would block the shit out of it. Yeah, I think it's either two things. Either
there's a guy on a flying go-kart.
Loud as fuck, too. Not even like overt, like no stealth, no nothing, just loud.
And then the next day they're like, go get them. The same way that after 9/11 we're like, go get them. And then the downfall of it was like, yo, was there a terrorist attack on U.S. soil? Yes. Did we even kind of know what could potentially have happened? Yes. Did we actually even know what really even happened to this day? Not fully. And did we totally make inappropriate decisions immediately that were devastating, were in a sense even terroristic to another nation? Yes. So like, why would we not learn something from that and go, you can't just like go in a belligerent blind rage and start like Donkey Konging.
No. And just like 9/11, U.S. had like the response was just like, oh no, let's go fucking bomb. And same as the Israel right now, they're like, oh no, let's go fucking bomb. Oh, you mean like you had no plan for like your direct right? Like it was like a couple miles away. That's not there very far. You knew something possibly could happen. By the way, on the time that it could possibly could happen. And by the way, Egypt warned you shit could happen a couple of days before, and then it happened, and you go like, oh, I don't know, bomb. What do you mean? I don't know, bomb. Fuck you were doing.
And do you see that clip with Putin? Obviously, I can never trust anything that ever comes out of Russia, just because like I don't even, it's all translated, and now you never know. Like I can't even trust. It could be my voice and you could be like, oh, that was AI, right? So let alone translation. How would I ever know if that's real? But like Putin was like, we're not involved yet, but we will get. If it gets crazy, we're in. Like Putin's not gonna like not get involved.
No.
And then Iran sitting on the other side being like, obviously funding different organizations like Hamas and Hezbollah, Hezbollah being from Lebanon. They're like, we're not involved, but like we just got $6 billion from the US and we got some funds to be able to do some shit.
Yeah. And then we're getting money to Israel, and they're like, yeah, we're not getting crazy, but we're about to get $100 billion from the US. Start fucking shit up.
Mm-hmm. So we have to stop doing this pendulum effect of like, this side did this to me, so then I can do an equal and if not 10 times worse thing to the other side because, well, they did this to me, so they punched me twice, I get to punch them 10 times. What's the biggest thing that I'm fearful of is that we're talking like the last one was 500 people. There could be more times of 1,300. There could be 10,000 people that pass away. 100,000 people that pass away during this war. Like, this is only going to get more convoluted over the next months, and we've already proven to not entering this conversation just from people that like are just normal bystanders, the Twitter people, the people that are watching the news. We're not putting ourselves in a foundational spot to be able to absorb the magnitude and then also dissect the bullshit, because it's going to get way worse.
Way worse. And then again, like that dude, cutting off someone's internet and power is 100% a war tactic. It's not. They're like, oh yeah, like because we're gonna cut off Israel or Gaza's everything. Yeah, but like, guess what? Now they can't get out any news or information. So like, well, then what? How do we know the bullshit that you're doing? You know, and that's our.
But also, like, you can't be a Gazan citizen and speak against Gaza. You can't be a Gaza citizen and speak against Hamas. So we're in a very difficult situation where it's like we're going to have inaccurate information coming out of there because like people can't speak freely. You're not going to hear people in Palestine who live in Gaza specifically say, dude, Hamas is fucking us too. Yeah. Because you can't, you're going to get killed. So with all of that, like, I just, because anybody, if you're ever listening to this program for any reason, even if this is just a time vault that people listen to in 10 years, it's like, dude, you have to like try to learn from what we're doing, try to dissect what's actually happening, press pause and not have to make immediate irrational decisions of things that were disgusting, irrational, and horrible to you, right? Like,
so, and it's so complicated. How are you going to know? There's no way to know. And we're not on the grounds to know. And even if you are on the grounds, there's like so much happening at any time. It's like, you know.
Now, this is getting long-winded, but sometimes Smart Wall is going to get long-winded, especially when we're on Zoom because we got more time to do it. And I know you got to leave soon. What I'm biggest concerned about as a U.S. citizen at this moment, going into election cycle, not one person, even people that will vote for Biden this next election cycle, trusts what he's telling us right now.
No way in hell, dude. No way in hell.
So why, when you're going to vote, either side, can we please vote for people that we trust? Because when we get in situations like this, it sucks that like the left is hitting Biden almost harder than the right is right now. And these same individuals probably will vote for him in the coming election seasons. Like, please, let's vote for people we at least trust. So when we get into moments like this, we can have an accurate understanding and accurate representation of our thoughts and feelings. And
or maybe even an inarticulate answer, for God's sake. Biden's so out of his fuking mind.
Dude, it's a disaster having him explain this. It's a
full-blown disaster. And like, especially when times like this come up, like this guy is like 1,000 years old. Like he should not be president by any stretch of his imagination. And you hear his answers, and for some reason, it's one of those things where we kind of still have to listen to the president because he's the president. His word still goes, but like it's just like, dude, like this fucking guy is out of his fucking mind. And we're like, in some situations complicated as this, if you even vote for this guy for the next cycle, are you out of your fucking mind?
Because even if you asked, I don't know if he even likes football, but if you asked him, how did the Jets lose their last game? And explain to me some of the situations within the game of why. It would be like, well, the fumble, and then that one guy, and it's just really difficult. And, like
America,
and we
Jets,
lost and we just can't lose. And that's the thing. You'd be like, if you can't break down whatever, like maybe hobby you enjoy and explain to me thoroughly for I could understand, like explain me to the rules of your favorite sport. And if I couldn't walk away from that going, oh, got it. Okay, I kind of understand it a little bit better now.
And let's not forget, he's the fucking president. I'm not even asking you to talk to me like you're a ball boy. I'm asking you to talk to me like I don't know, maybe you're the manager at Denny's, for God's sake. Can you at least give me like that level of like what? Like you can't even do that?
Like could he manage a McDonald's and explain to a new employee the process of how to get a burger out?
How to flip the fuck? Can you flip the fucking burger?
Like, if he explained, like, if he was at a McDonald's and explained it to a new employee, the new employee would have to look around and go, is there anybody else that can give me some understanding of, like, do I put the fries in the left fryer? Or when do I put the salt on? And
mine would be like, they want their food. And you'd be like, yo, Tasha, can you like help me out, please?
Do we always put mustard on the burgers? Because I wasn't able to fully...
Look! This fool can't even manage a McDonald's. You can't even. I could not trust him to do anything. Like, on God is my witness. Like, to manage even this apartment complex that I live in, I couldn't help. And that's a terrible job. You can be homeless and do this job.
And that's the thing. Historically, 10 years ago, I think that he would be able to accurately and articulately explain it. But even before he was president, even when he was Obama's guy, he was always still like the guy, like kind of more of like a George Bush dude, where like you would get weird little outtakes of like, oh wait, what?
Yeah, but you let it slide because he was the vice president. No one really cared. It's not that serious, right?
His name was Bulldog Biden, dude, or Mad Dog Biden, whatever it was. Like it was just he got legislation passed because people trusted him and stuff, and he'd been in it all the time.
Sure, and like I said, even when he was like Obama's guy, like he was like, okay, like I would accept it, but like even still, I'd be like, okay, this guy's kind of weird. I don't really know. I don't know if I'll trust him around my kids. Whatever. You know
That's even why, like for me as a voter, who would love to have a person like RFK, for example, be with his knowledge and his understanding in the way that I think that he looks at our country and what it should do in the world. Why I think he would be a great president. The specific reason why I can't vote for him is the fact that it's hard to understand him. And I do think RFK. So it's not just about knowledge always of the president, but can you explain to the American populace what, why, how, and when are we doing things in this country? Like, I need you to be able to be a spokesman and articulate this, because as things are getting flamed up and embroiled, like we need to have explanation of things, because we also need to be able to believe that you are the person with a rational mind to be able to ingest, articulate, and then deliver the appropriate rational thing.
Yeah.
And nobody in the country trusts him to do it. And at the same time, people are going to vote for him. And I'm not saying you should vote for Trump either, because I think if Trump were a part of this, it would also be almost a bigger mess in a sense.
Shit show. Yeah.
Not to say I don't even know, you can't go back in history and say it would have never happened without Trump. I also think that's an inappropriate take. But then again, we didn't enter any wars with Trump, and like we're entering, everything's falling out now. So what's happening here?
It's confusing. It's extremely confusing. And like I said, even like, I'm not trying to get political. What we already political, but like I would go for RFK simply to the fact that like the fool could actually like could explain some shit and understand some shit and actually like help the country maybe a little bit. But like a guy like Biden, man, he's so out of it. And I think Trump, he do a decent job, but like he's so controversial. It's tough, you know. But like every president's controversial, I guess.
That's why with both of them, I'm like, dude, let's find better solutions. I'm a big Vivek Ramaswamy guy right now.
Yeah.
One, because of his ability to articulate his opinion, and the way that he views our position in the world. I just really appreciate it. I don't agree with him on every single stance that he takes, but I I love his energy. I believe in his ability to process knowledge, and I believe in his ability to articulate his opinion. And like, honestly, from a president, I'm cool with that.
That's kind of actually all we're asking for in this crazy presidential race at this point. Because we're not asking for anyone out of their minds. We're not asking for someone who's like impulsive. We're asking for someone who's like can think things through and like just make a good decision for us as the American people. And listen to us, mind you. And listen, because that's one of the last couple presidents do not fucking do.
Right.
So
dude, this is Smart and Wild season 3. Smart
and Wild, baby.
You disagree with anything we're saying, please to God, do not come to us for the news. If you think that this was the spot to provide you better information about what's happening, this is not it. These are just two friends that are trying to figure out what's happening in the world. We articulate our opinion, and then sometimes it's going to evolve because we're not going to have topics that we don't discuss. You know, if there's things that are happening, even persisting in this war, we're going to talk about them. I only do this from a position myself specifically to be able to allow other people with potentially similar discomfort or different opinions or like trying to figure out what's going on to go, oh, at least there's another person that's saying like, dude, I haven't figured this out yet. And being like, feel okay and comfortable with saying like, I'm going to take a second to figure this out. Because not everything comes immediately to me. Like, I don't wake up and go, I got it, dude.
No.
And I think through this conversation, this banter is how we actually get to rational spot. And so we're going to laugh about shit. We're going to make fun of stuff we're not supposed to make fun of all the time. But we're going to continue to just have this conversation. We are going to start coming to you weekly. King Cam, even though he's flying all over the world, DJing, just getting messy with it. He DJ'd for the Chiefs. Was Kelce there? Did. Last weekend?
Not there. Not there. Mahomes is in his wife and kids and a lot of the guys. Harrison Butker and the coach. Andy Reid was there. Apparently, I didn't see him, but he was there. All that good stuff.
So yeah, follow KingCam_1.
I'm gonna post more. I swear, I haven't been posting in a while.
We're gonna really get on this. We're gonna get a lot of clips out. So we just appreciate people for rocking with us. This is who we are. We're not that apologetic. We're not very apologetic for it, but we'll keep on trying to figure out who we are. So appreciate you all. God bless.
Love piece of chicken. Peace.
Whoa. Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run